Hey guys, it's Alyssa Marie, your intuitive reader. Today we have just a collective message for Starseeds and Lightworkers. So if you identify as either or both of these things, this message is for you right now. There will be no pick a card for this reading. This is just a for everyone reading. It's going to be rather short, but we're going to get right into it. But before I get into it, if you guys are interested in a personal reading, crystals, jewelry, guided meditations, etc., the link is down below. Pretty much everything is in my shop on sale. Sorry, I said that wrong. Everything that is in my shop is pretty much on sale right now. I am actually going on quite a big trip and I won't be able to sell my crystals. I'm going to have to deactivate those while I'm gone. So up until that point, a lot of my crystals are like 20% off. So make sure you go and check that out if you're interested. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull a card first from the Beyond Lemuria deck. Such a beautiful deck. And we're going to see what collective message for Starseeds and Lightworkers wants to come through today. Okay, for Starseeds and Lightworkers Spirit, what is this message that we all need to hear at this point in time? What is the message we all need to hear, every single one of us? We have a few cards. First, we have unique gifts with number 55, unique gifts. I want you guys to look at that image. I love this artwork, but this image always gives me Arcturian vibes. I don't know why. Well, I do know why for me, but for everyone, I don't know. But as you can see, her artwork, it's really laden with all that light language. Unique gifts is the first card that's come out. We also have the card of Realm Bridger with 41. And then lastly, we have Lumen Essence. Beautiful. So let me back some of this stuff up so we can see the key words. So the first message that is coming through for you guys, for everyone, is everyone needs to understand that we all have gifts. We all have skills. It is very often that we try to compare our abilities to somebody else. We might be like, okay, well, they can do this and they can do that, but I can't do that. But understand that we all have our own personalized gifts. Some of us are better creatively. Some of us are better more analytically. Some of us are great at both. But it doesn't matter because we all have our own unique personal gifts. Now, I think a lot of us tend to suppress our gifts. A lot of us don't realize that our gifts are really gifts. A lot of us think, if we are, let's say we're very intuitive. Before I did what I do now, I would get a lot of intuitive hits still, but I would say things like, oh, that's just my imagination, or, oh, that's just a coincidence. But when we really try to listen to our bodies, listen to our soul, right? Because our soul, mind, and body are all very connected. When we really start to listen to those, the body, the mind, the soul, we can really start to bridge realms, okay? So I think as Starseeds and Lightworkers, a lot of us want to have these experiences in our dreams or our meditative states in which we are visiting other realms of existence, different dimensions. And the reality of it is that absolutely anyone can do this, anyone. You might think, oh, only, certain people are able to contact higher dimensional beings. And that is just simply not true. Now, I will say, right, some people are naturally better at it, but it's like drawing, okay? Some people are born and they just know how to draw really good. They see color, they understand color theory, they understand shadow and light. But everybody can learn to draw, right? You can go to school and you can learn to draw. You can, get a better voice just by doing breathing techniques and how you position your mouth, right? And so when it comes to contacting these other beings or visualizing, channeling, all of these things will become better when you practice them. Same with your intuition. And I tell this to people all the time, but it's very true. Your intuition is like a muscle. Like, let's say you are working out your arm muscle, right? At first, your arm muscle, let's just say it's, you never work it out, but then over time you continue to work it out, it becomes stronger. At first it might hurt. Now, I don't say that because it's going to hurt when you do intuitive gifts, but it might be confusing or frustrating because you're not seeing the what's the word I want to use, the results that you want to see. A lot of us think that we can, the way I think it's portrayed sometimes across our different YouTube communities and programs and stuff is it's like, okay, well, I'll just close my eyes and boom, all these images and feelings and things are going to come to me. And that is just not true. Okay, like I can visualize 10 times better now than I could 5 years ago. And that's because I have practiced visualization, okay? And so I say that because I know a lot of people will comment, for example, on my videos and say, like with guided meditations, like, oh, I didn't see anything. Like, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Whenever we have a guided meditation, whenever we do a pick a card and you're like, I don't know what my intuition is wanting me to pick, just understand that it does take time. And then just keep at it. That's the best thing, because a lot of you right now, all of us, we are really bridging our existence to other races, okay? We are bridging when I say races, I'm referring to different star races, right? We are bridging our reality to these higher dimensional beings. Our Earth is going through a big shift. Things are changing. Things have been changing. But sometimes the answers we are looking for might not be, one, what we expect them to be, and two, there right away. When I visualize, some people, for example, when they do meditation, they see words, they get feelings. Other people, like me, I really see pictures when I'm meditating. But is it wrong that I see pictures and somebody else sees words and has physical feelings? No, it's just different. So understand that when you're doing any type of work like that, you are going to have differences from your friend, from anybody else you talk to, okay? And that is okay. Now, this last card with luminescence, I have, my what I want to say, but I wanted to open the book for this one because I haven't pulled this card much, and I wanted to see really quickly what the keywords for the book is. So it says, self-love, the light that radiates from our hearts, a light shining in the darkness, heart-centered living, removing your heart armor, accepting your shadows, etc., etc. So this card, that is exactly what I was getting to intuitively. If you look at this beautiful painting, these are paintings she does actually. When you look at that, think of like when you see, two separate words, luminescence, but it's also like luminescence, right? Glowing. And we have the image here of the heart with the frequency of the heart. I want you guys to know that, the things that make your heart feel, okay. That feeling when, first of all, that feeling when something bad happens or sad, and your heart just kind of sinks. Well, there's another kind of feeling, right, where you do something and somebody's really not, like, they compliment you, somebody does something nice to you, you go somewhere and you found exactly what you needed to find in the store, I don't know, something that makes you happy. You kind of feel that warm fuzzy feeling. You're like, oh, this is good. I want you to compare the two, because the feeling of the heart sinking and the feeling of the heart feeling full of joy are just as important. So I feel like a lot of us, when we have that feeling of a heart sinking, it's not a pleasant feeling, right? But understand too that it is part of the human experience. And so listen to the heart. If you're in a situation and your heart feels boom, it's something happens, it's going down, it feels like it's sinking, or it feels like it's racing, or you're very nervous and anxious versus you're very relaxed, okay? Pay attention to what is happening in your reality when this is happening, no matter if it's a good thing or a positive thing, and then try to understand why that is the case, okay? And that is a type of self-love technique. It is a type of self-reflection, and it is something that we must we must do, okay? Understand that a lot of times when we talk about triggers, okay, that's a very like common, I see it being used right a lot in social media, and everywhere people will say trigger warning. And by all means, a lot of things do trigger us, right? Something might different trigger you than, triggers me. But understand that the triggers that we have are connected to things that we need to still work through and heal from. And so I want you guys to, Starseeds and Lightworkers, in order to do what we just talked about, look at your triggers. Understand what is triggering to you, okay? Is someone talking about weight a bit triggering? Is violence triggering? We could go on about everything, okay? And I'm not saying, it is, because it's not a bad thing to have triggers. It means you're human. But understand that trigger is, in a way, triggering something that has happened to you before, either in this lifetime or in past ones, and to look at it and to accept it and to see why it's coming up, okay? And through that, much healing can happen. And the true and the most beautiful and the most authentic way we can all be is just to be receptive and to listen. Many of us forget to be receptive. A lot of us, we have our own plan for the day, plan for life even, and we just go on and we go on, and we don't really think to stop and be receptive. Sometimes we'll think, oh God, I feel so depressed today, or oh God, I'm so tired, but we don't really actually sit down and say, okay, okay, Alyssa, why are you feeling depressed today or sad today? Why are you feeling angry? Why are you feeling scared? What is triggering you at this time? I don't advise you to stay away from your triggers. I advise you to think of it kind of a little at a time. So if something's triggering to you, I don't want you to just go in and be like, okay, look at this, and oh my God, it's triggering me, making me feel shit, right? But I want you to still slowly, not completely take out triggers from your life. Slowly look at it, slowly dissect it, and understand that it's a process, okay? And so with that information, I think that's all I have for you guys. I know it's a shorter reading, but this is for all Starseeds and all Lightworkers. The way to really bridge those realms and really kind of, in a way, ascend and evolve is to really, instead of looking outward, it's really to look inward. A lot of times we want to see things externally, we want to know about the external, but really a lot of our progress comes from the internal. And so I do challenge you, as well as challenging myself, to really try to be more receptive to your needs and your wants. As a human being, you have needs, but as a human being, you have wants. And I don't want you to think that one is necessarily more important than the other. I think a lot of people tell us, well, oh, you don't need that. But it is within your being to want, okay? It's okay to want something. And just listen to yourself. What is it that you need? What does your body need, and what does your body want? What does your soul want? And when you follow what your soul wants, your heart sings. And when your heart sings, you ascend. And when you ascend, you are here experiencing life, right? But I want to say too, when you're ascending, you also descend, right? And there's no correlation. I mean, obviously we have this stigma about ascending is better than descending, but it's really not. Descending is just as important as a human experience as ascending. But primarily, we want to still experience descending, but focus on ascending. Because ascending, right, is when our heart sings and we are in vibration to our personal truth. And our personal truth is, again, I say this in many videos, is like a fingerprint. My fingerprint is probably looking quite similar to yours and every other human being's, but it's different, it's unique, okay? But unlike the fingerprint, the truth changes. And so if your heart is singing, one day for a particular person, thing, and the next day it is not, follow what it is not. If it's not singing anymore, let it go. But realize that the heart singing at what it now is, it might go back to what it was. And that's the kind of fluidity that you need to embrace as we go through this human experience together, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I really enjoyed this collective reading, and I hope it helped. I want you to, like I said, definitely think about those triggers, think about being more receptive, think about what gifts you do have, and that intuition and all of these, what you want to call psychic gifts, are gifts that can be learned and strengthened. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.